Business as Mission sa Entrepinoy Espesyal tuwing Lunes alas 11 hanggang alas 12 ng tanghali sa 702 DZAS FEBC Radio TV.
Ikaw pa rin ay nanonood at nakikinig sa programang Entrepinoy Espesyal. Dito lang yan sa paborito mong himpilang 702 DZAS FEBC Radio TV, Agapay ng Sambayanan. Muli ako po si Arwel Mendoza at sa mga kakatunin lang sa ating palatuntunan, welcome po at salamat sa inyong patuloy na pagsubaybay dito po sa 702 DZAS. At sa mga nag-ready na ng kanilang pananghalian dyan o nagbabantay ng kanilang sinaing, hello po sa inyo at anuman ang inyong mga pinagkakabisihan, gawin nyo lamang po kaming background sa inyong mga talapihitan o sa inyong gadgets. At dito po sa Patok na Negosyo segments ay patuloy po tayong makaririnig at nakatutunghay ng iba't ibang kwento sa pagbibusiness. Hatid po yan ng ating mga Entrepinoy at Entrepinay. At every Monday, palagian po natin nakakasama ang Business as Mission Philippines na kung saan hatid po nila ang iba't ibang kwento sa pagbibusiness at inspirasyon at aral, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga aspiring Entrepinoy at Entrepinay. At ngayong araw na ito, kakaiba ang ating magiging kwentuhan dahil malalaman po natin, matutunghayan natin ang isang kwento ng kabataang, should I say kabataan? Pwede? na negosyante at i-share niya po sa atin ang kanyang experiences, ang kanyang journey as business owner. At ako po ay masaya na muli siyang makasama dito sa ating palatuntunan. I-welcome po natin si Mr. Lee Thomas. Sir Lee, magandang umaga sa inyo.
Good morning po, and good morning sa inyong mga kaagapay.
Yes, Sir Lee, salamat muli sa paglalaan nyo ng time para po may bahagi ang inyong kwento sa pagnenegosyo. Pero bago po natin umpisahan yan, Sir Lee, baka meron kang gustong i-shout out o batiin this morning.
Shoutout po sa One Sala family, sa Gracious family, sa Faithful Group of Companies, and sa Unlad, and to our spiritual mentors, Tita Daisy, Calianta, and Sir Vince Santa Elena. Shoutout po sa inyo.
Ayan, hello po sa inyo and for sure nakikinig na sila at nanonood na sa ating palatuntunan. And again, do not forget to share the link of this live stream sa inyong mga social media accounts at group chat. At pamalitan nyo na po na mayroon tayong ganitong klaseng programa na binibigyan po ng kaalaman at inspirasyon ng ating mga negosyanteng Pilipino. At kayo po ay matagal na rin sa pagnenegosyo. You look young and you're still young, pero mahaba na rin po ang inyong karanasan sa pagbibusiness. At nabalitaan namin, Sir Lee, na kayo po pala ay bunga ng second generation. Kayo po ay second generation na ng mga negosyante sa inyong pamilya. Sige nga po, ikwento niyo po sa amin, ano ba yung background ng inyong family at ano po yung mga businesses na pinangangasiwaan ng inyong pamilya?
Thank you. Ang aking buhay ay nakakaiba in the sense na from day one pa lang, I was already groomed and trained to be a business owner and a businessman.
Okay.
Sorry, that's something new pala we learned sa BAM. Not business owner, business steward dapat.
Yun. Pakiulit nga yung term na yun, Sir Lee.
Yes, we're not business owners, we're supposed to be business stewards kasi hindi po tayo may-ari ng ating mga negosyo. Akala natin tayo, pero actually, lahat po yan belongs to the Lord. At tayo lang ang kanyang steward na gagamitin niya para mag-alaga ng mga negosyo na binibigay niya sa atin.
We're not the owners but only managers of His resources. So, paano yung training naman na ginagawa ng iyong pamilya para ma-mold ka at ma-equip ka bilang isang negosyante ngayon?
So first of all, hindi po ako pinapunta sa regular school. Ever since I was small, homeschooled po kami.
Homeschooling?
So yes, my mom really took lots of time to really sit down and stay with us sa bahay to train us, and the motive there behind that was i-face po natin most po ng mga alam nating mga masasamang bagay, mga mga bisyo, mga kalaswaan na natututunan yun sa school. And ang sad thing is nalalearn ng mga kabataan early on, elementary pa lang, high school pa lang, na-expose na. So, we were homeschooled early on to shield us para bago kami ma-expose sa mundo, na build up yung foundation namin in the Lord bago kami ma-expose sa mga ganyang bagay. And so, even in homeschooling, as early as like 7 or 8 or 9 years old, training po namin, pinapabasa kami ng mga dyaryo. So, exposed na kami sa stocks, exposed kami sa business world, ang tanong namin sa tatay namin noon would be, we have to understand what assets, liabilities, equity, mga ganyang terms po, lahat po yun.
Mga KPIs.
Yes. Before high school pa lang, tinuturo na sa amin yun. So, thoroughbred from bata pa lang to be business. Konting background pala, neither of my parents are business majors. And that just goes to show that business is not something you can learn in school or in college. In fact, business is really common sense, experience, and the most important thing, blessing ni Lord ang kailangan sa business.
And to add, calling din yan.
Yes.
Dahil
Very
madaling
right.
mag-business, pero ang tanong, diyan ka ba talaga tinatawag ng Panginoon? And bigyan nyo nga din po kami ng idea, Sir Lee, ano ba yung mga businesses ng inyong family?
Yung umpisa po ng dad ko sa business was into macrofinancing. Then from there, nag-branch into real estate. So we create mga housing complexes, mga apartments. And then through that very God-inspired story, na-lead into hotel business. And then from there on, we have lots of other small businesses like water, laundry. Essentially, many people ask my dad nga, at his age now, he's around 50 plus na, papuntang 60s na. Malapit siya magkaroon ng kanyang
Another citizenship.
Yes, another citizenship, ang kanyang promo card.
Yes, so maraming perks yan
Opo, yun nga yun yung inaabangan niya. Many people ask him, his name is Jeff. Boss Jeff, ba't po kayo hindi nagpapahinga pa? Mag-retire na kayo. Yung anak niyo na bahala. And ang answer niya parati is the same. And that's why I look up to my dad. Sabi niya parati, as long as I have breath in my lungs, hanggat kaya ko pa, ang aking calling ay gumawa ng negosyo. Bakit? Ask me why. It is not to gain more money or para yumaman lalo. Pero that is our way of being missionaries. Marami pong tao sa mundo na to na ang bilis siya na ng gospel. Mag-street evangelism tayo, mag-feeding program, pero one and done lang yan. Isang beses lang. Ano bang kailangan ng katabihan ng tao sa mundo na to? Kailangan po nilang trabaho. They need a means to gain money in an honest way. Para meron rin po silang integrity and meron silang self-confidence na may nakukuha silang livelihood.
Yes, at hindi lang nagre-rely sa
Yes.
tinatawag natin na tulong lang, but
Opo.
we also help them to accumulate wealth at pagtrabahuhan, pagsumikapan, yung isusustain nila or ipoprovide nila sa kanilang pamilya. At yun yung napakagandang mindset ng iyong father na talagang nilulook up mo. At ang pagnenegosyo naman, hindi lang yan basta magbigay ka lang ng tulong, magbigay ka lang ng sabihin na nating pagkain o yung needs nila, kundi tinuturuan mo rin sila na anuman yung gusto mo sa buhay, you need to work hard for that. Kailangan mo siyang pagsumikapan, kailangan mo siyang syempreng pagtiyagaan. 'Di ba? Dahil alam naman natin sa mundo natin na hindi lang tayo basta o hindi lang natin basta nakukuha ng libre ang mga bagay na ito. Kaya napakaganda yung mindset kasi at the same time nagiging ministry na rin siya 'di ba, ng iyong father. Pero ikaw ba sa iyong paglaki dahil nga high school pa lang tinuturuan na kayo ng iba't ibang practices or principles ng business. Ikaw ba dumating ka sa point na parang para namang nakakasakal, parang ang hirap naman ito. May mga ganun bang instances in your life?
Honestly, wala masyado. Compared sa mga ibang relatives ko and even my friends who are also second generation business owners, I saw like two types of mga second gen na business owners or business stewards. There's one type na naging masyadong kampante. Honestly, marami mga ganyang pinsan, kapamilya, na pag tinanong mo, ano gagawin mo ngayon sa buhay mo? Eh wala lang, may bibigay naman sa akin eh. So naging kampante na po sila. Di na nila pinapaghirapan. Wala silang love for the company, for the staff in the company. Para sa kanila, basta ako may allowance ako, may magandang sasakyan, may bahay, iiwan naman sa akin yan eh. Okay na sila. At nagwawalwal talaga sila during kolehiyo. So that's the one type. The other type naman is actually those na ayaw magnegosyo. And what ends up happening is, imbis na they see the business as a mission field and they see it as a privilege, nagiging burden sa kanila na ayaw nilang magkaroon ng negosyo na yun. Gusto nilang tumakas. So yun yung dalawang nakita ko. Ang prayer ko sana, most will see which is how the way I see it. The third way is business is not a burden, though it is burdensome at times. Because mahirap, syempre, pag magkasamang
Yes,
katao,
that's true.
pagdating sa government, minsan, syempre, mahirap talaga yan. Pero it is a mission field. We are called, hindi lahat po magiging pastor, hindi po lahat magiging missionary, hindi po lahat magiging guro. Pero meron pong bawat-bawat calling. May mga tao po na hindi kayang i-reach ng pastor. May mga tao po na hindi kaya i-reach ng missionary. Kasi pag narinig ng tao, papunta yung pastor, ay, agad-agad, nakasara na po yung puso nila. Pero meron tayong bilang mga business owners and business people na may mga tao na tayong kayang i-reach out to na makikinig sila sa atin because of our position and because of where we come from. Yun po ang ating mission field.
Yes, kumbaga lahat tayo may kanya-kanyang giftings, may mga skills na binigay sa atin ng Panginoon, kaya walang tao na magsasabi na alam ko lahat. Walang taong magsasabi na kaya ko lahat. Kasi doon pa lang, wala na yung humility.
Yes.
Wala na yung pagiging humble natin. Kasi tandaan natin, apart from God, apart from Him, we can do nothing. Kaya ganun din po yung ating kaisipan dapat sa pagninegosyo. Nakatuwang natin lagi ang Panginoon at gamitin natin ito para mabigyan ng honor at maging ministry din natin ito as we do yung ating pagninegosyo para sa Panginoon. At habang lumalaki ka, Sir Lee, nabuo na rin ba sa'yo na, okay, kaya pala ganito ako i-train ng magulang ko kasi gusto nila ako yung maging next in line sa business. Nabuo na ba yung ganong mindset mo na paglaki ko, talagang negosyante na ako?
Yes po, in fact, to the point na I did not go to college anymore. So that's something that when people find out, nasa-surprise sila. They're always like,
Paano yun? Oo.
lalo na yung Chinese community na, "Hay, wala kang kolehiyo, wala kang degree."
Walang degree,
And
walang
ang parating
diploma.
sagot ko, kailan ka ba pumunta sa isang negosyante at tinanong mo, anong degree ka? Anong college ka? It was actually the decision that my dad and I made. Kasi sabi ng tatay ko, he's actually an architect. Pero ngayon, negosyante. Sabi niya, actually, kadamihan ng na-learn niya sa high school and college, di naman na-apply sa real life. Though I am not saying this na ngayon, lahat kayo wag magkolehiyo.
Yes,
Bawat tao may iba't ibang season and calling
Yes.
and purpose. Pero specifically for me, that's how prepared I was to do business. Nang sabi namin, sige, pwede na i-skip yung college. Kasi if I want to do business anyway, the best way to learn, practical po dapat. Kasi majority na ituturo sa college, theoretical. Iba yung practical, iba yung real life. So, ang pinagawa sa akin, lahat ng kumpanya namin, meron kaming real estate, meron kaming microfinancing, meron kaming hospitality, water, laundry, lahat po yan, paniikot sa akin, every department, pinasukan ko, and learn talaga from the ground up. Para I will learn the basics from every department, and hindi lang po yung puro utak, hindi po yung puro theoretical, hindi puro PowerPoint slide lang sa mga prof on the
Ilang by
school
the
days.
books, ano?
Yes. Pero it's really, what do these people do day to day? At ano po yung mga discarding natutunan nila?
Mhm. And with that, no, sinisimulan na ng iyong magulang na i-absorb ka or ibabad ka sa kanilang mga negosyo, may pressure ba? May pressure ba as a second gen na business owner? Siyempre, all eyes on you. Talagang tinitingnan nila paano ka magnegosyo, paano ka mag-manage ng business.
Of course, maraming pressure yan. Kasi whether we like it or not, we, as second gen, will always be compared to the first gen. Ay, ba't ka ganyan yung tatay mo, ganito, ganyan? Ba't ka ganyan, sila naman ganun?
Comparison, ano?
Yes, may comparison. And normal po yan. And of course, I felt that, lalo na may kasabihan, di ba? Ang first generation daw ang magbibuild. Ang second generation, magpapalago.
Yes.
At yung third generation, doon na namamatay yung mga negosyo. So at least hindi ako third generation kasi feeling ko mas grabe pressure dun. Pero as second gen, may pressure na kailangan palaguin yung negosyo. Na kapag under my watch, hindi siya lumago, stand still lang, o kaya even worse, lumiit pa, ay syempre marami sasabihin mga tao. But one thing the Lord has taught me and is teaching me, and I want to share with all of you who might be second-gen business owners, business people, business stewards at that, is that we are not our parents. Iba po ang calling sa kanila, iba ang calling sa atin. So, one, yung mga best practices at mga wisdom that they've accumulated over the years, let us learn it and apply it. Mga iba po kasi sa atin masyadong mayabang. Gusto magpakitang gilas ka agad, take over ka agad, tapos lahat ng new ideas. Sometimes, we have to learn from their wisdom. Kasi meron po silang experience. At the same time, this is something that I've been learning naman is, we also have to break out of the mold and follow God. one important question that God's been asking me this past few months, sino ba mas important? Whose praises and whose affirmation do you want more? Kanino ba tayo mas natatakot? Sa tao o sa Diyos? Kasi minsan, and you will reach a point talaga, no matter how big or small your business is, and I'm talking to even the small business owners, kasi even being a second gen na meron akong business na pwedeng pasukan under my family, what I actually like is, my dad told me, bago ka pumasok dito, gumawa ka sa sarili mo. And I started really small. If you talk about water refilling business and the laundry business, which is what I'm into right now, yun usually pinapasukan na small. Hindi ko pa nakwento, ang aking very, very first business, which failed, is actually in Only Wings na chicken, yes. And hindi po ako food industry, di ako mahilig magluto. Pero pinasukan namin, sabi namin, gano'n ba kahirap to? Prito-prito lang. Mahirap po pala ang pagkain.
And from there, anong natutunan mo? Kasi sabi mo, naging failure siya. And from that, ano yung mga takeaways mo?
I learned that we have to ask the Lord talaga. Kasi aminado po ako, tumalon ako sa negosyo na yun, I did not ask the Lord. That's when I learned what I shared a few months ago. The Lord should not be our silent partner. Which means na, Lord, basta ikaw mag-provide ng pera, ikaw mag-provide ng opportunity. Salamat, Lord, sige na, I'll go. Tapos once you're there na in the thick of it, in the business and the decision making, you don't ask the Lord anymore. Hindi ka nagtatanong sa Kanya. Nagiging silent partner siya. Lord, salamat may resources. Basta usapan natin 10% tithe sa'yo. Tapos mga ibang bagay, Lord, wag mo nang pakialaman. Ako na bahala dun. Unlike what I'm learning now, siya dapat ang boss natin or the managing partner or even the managing director. Paano? In my company example, our people don't move hanggat na-sign yung memo. Bakit? Kapag kumilos sila na hindi na-sign yung memo, kapag may nangyaring hindi karapat-dapat, ay yung blame mapupunta sa kanila. Accountable sa kanila. But if may sign ng manager or supervisor, they can now move ahead with peace. Same thing with the Lord. Most often than not, we move without the Lord's leading. We move without the Lord's yes muna. Nauuna tayo sa Kanya. And therefore, kapag nagkakaproblema, example, yung business ko, nag-fail. Ang kapal-kapal pa ng mukha natin. Pupunta tayo kay Lord, Lord, bakit ganyan? Ba't nag-fail? Nag-run pa tayo. Nakalimutan natin in the first place, tayo yung employee, dumiretso tayo nang walang sign doon sa memo natin. Hindi tayo inaprubahan ni Lord.
In short, binaypas mo.
Exactly. And so that's one thing I learned from that failed venture. Which is actually not a failure naman because why? Every failure is actually a lesson.
Yes, that's
so
true.
there is no real failure. They're all just lessons in life. Ang tawagan ng isang uncle na favorite ko, sabi niya, lahat ng failure na yan, tawag dyan, tuition fee.
Tuition.
Sabi ko, maganda nga, tama. Kasi why? Instead of paying hundreds of thousands of pesos sa colleges and sa tuition, if you just take every lesson that life gives you, every lesson actually that God gives you, and you learn it well, kahit pa ang nasayang mong pera, I will share with you guys, ang nalugi ako 200,000. Ang binaba ko doon sa Only Wings business, nalugi ako doon. Pero yun yung tuition ko. It took me 200,000 pesos to learn. I have to ask the Lord before I move. And I will gladly pay that amount again to learn that lesson. Though if kaya kong matutunan yung lesson without paying it, why not? Pero tuition po yan.
Nangyari na di ba? At yun nga yung sabihin nating warning sa ating mga negosyante. Every time you are thinking or nagpaplano ka na ano bang business ito, kailangan talaga ikonsulta natin sa Panginoon. Kasi ang kawalan ng go signal ng Panginoon, yung hindi natin pagsunod sa kanyang will, katulad ng nangyari kay Sir Lee, hindi talaga maganda yung magiging effect na yan. And now, as a second generation business owner, can you share with us, ano ba yung mga common challenges na kinakaharap ng isang second generation na negosyante?
I think it's a bit of what I shared earlier. One is that
Pressure.
Yes, yung pressure, and you want to break free. Yun yung actually naging early struggle that I had with my parents. Na parang gusto ko mag-enact agad ng change. Ang unang sabi ko, ba't bang dami-daming papel? Lahat ng procedure may papel. Lahat may sign ng papel. Sabi ko, hindi pa pwede natin gawing PDF lahat yan. Syempre tayong Gen Z. Gusto natin mas malinis. Sabi ko, HR system, digitalize. Marketing, lahat digitalize. Syempre, we need to also give them time kasi change doesn't come easily. And I'm realizing, ang mahal rin ng change, just a simple change of mga delivered and received, mga ganyang papel lang, received and delivered. To change that into digital, ang laki din palang kailangan na pera dyan. So that's the one, to be able to temper ourselves to submit because we still ought to submit to our authorities, lalo na our parents and those above us.
Yeah.
And number 2 is to break out from that mold also. Because sometimes, tao rin po sila. So we need to be able to filter what it is that they are teaching us, if it is godly wisdom or worldly wisdom. Kasi there will be things that they will teach us, mga diskarte, na sad to say, is worldly wisdom. And that's when we need to ask, who would we rather please more? Our parents or the Lord? The barangay officials or the Lord? The government or the Lord? The police or the Lord? When it comes to when push comes to shove pala, sino ba ang ating susundan? Si Lord o ang tao?
Sino ba ang mas i-please natin? Yes. Sino bang mas susundan natin? At sino ba yung may mas authority? Diba? Well, di naman natin dinidimin or sinasabi na wag tayong sumunod sa gobyerno dahil yan din naman ang tawag sa atin. Pero kung alam natin na nagiging kompromiso na siya o nagli-lead sa atin na mapalayo sa Panginoon, that's the time na kailangan natin mag-isip-isip, Lord, ano ba? Or dapat nga, hindi natin pag-isipan kung nilalayo na tayo niya sa Panginoon, dapat automatic na yon.
Automatic na yan.
Huwag na tayong bumigay. Huwag na tayong mag-give in. Dahil again, ang layon or goal ng kaaway is to kill, steal, and destroy. Yun yung mga schemes ng enemy na dapat nating bantayan, maging vigilant po tayo. At dito nga sa ating pinagkakwentuhan ngayon as second generation business owner, siguro as we wrap up, Sir Lee, ano yung greatest lesson na inimpart sa iyo ng parents mo na hanggang ngayon, dala-dala mo as you manage your business?
There are so many, but siguro I'll just share one, and the most important, and which is something they shared to me. They shared to me before, and they keep sharing to me, which is, if all else mawala yung negosyo, bumagsak, mawala lahat ng mga inipon sa mundo na to, as long as you have the Lord, and as long as I am a man who will follow and run after the Lord, then they will have counted success na yung ginawa nila. And so really, to the parents naman who are listening, it's not about whether your kids become rich and successful, though it is nice, di ba? Yun naman yung dream natin for them.
Yeah.
That they will have stable futures, na hindi po sila mangangailangan. Pero beyond that, ang legacy na dapat gustuhin natin is a generation of men and women who will please the Lord. A generation of men and women na kapag kayo po ay nawala na, pag tayo nawala na, yung next generation po, they will continue to love the Lord. Hindi po yung puro pera, puro negosyo, puro kamunduhan lang, pero we ought to instill in them, above all else, ang pinaka-importante sa mundo na to, ang Panginoon.
At ganun din, hindi lang sa mga magulang kundi sa mga business leaders natin ngayon. We are called also to pass the baton. Diba? Just like si King David, diba? Ang plano niya, magtayo ng templo. Pero hindi yun nangyari in his time, kundi nangyari yun sa anak niya na si King Solomon. So, dito natin makikita mga kaagapay na the more na nag-o-obey tayo sa Panginoon, sometimes kahit gusto na natin siyang gawin, gusto natin siyang i-execute, pero si Lord nagsasabi hindi. Not in your time, kundi sa next generation, doon mangyayari, doon magaganap ano man yung mga plans natin. Ang gusto lang ng Lord sa atin is to be more obedient at mas maging align tayo sa kalooban ng Panginoon. And with that, Sir Lee, maraming salamat. And for sure, marami na sa ating mga kaagapay ngayon na second generation business owners ang maraming natutunan at na-inspire from your story. And siguro, halimbawa, may mga kabataan tayo ngayon na gustong magtayo ng negosyo nila. Sabihin na natin, hindi yun galing sa family nila, but they're just planning, merong desire in their hearts na gusto nilang maging negosyante. Ano yung pwede mong iwan na words of encouragement para po sa kanila?
Before, I would say, go agad. Kasi between choosing a business or an 8 to 5, I'll go for a business. But now, my answers change. My first advice would be, pray. Hindi po lahat called sa business. And the last thing I would want to advise is magnegosyo kayong lahat at hindi lang po ang problema ay if you crash and fail. Ang problem is if you succeed but because you compromised. Yun yung mas nakakatakot. So kapatid, if you are wanting to have a business, pray and check if you have the right intention. Kasi if you go into business, intention mo ay yumaman para lumago, maging famous, ay without those kinds of intentions, hindi po kayo be-bless ng Lord. But if you go into business with the intention of making business your mission, making business your mission field, you want to touch more lives, you want to share God's word through business, and you want at the same time to have a stable income from that, so that you can now be empowered to do more of God's work, then maybe business will be your calling. But it's between you and the Lord po.
Yeah, it's between you and the Lord. Kaya mainam po talaga na ikonsulta muna natin sa Panginoon ano man yung mga business ventures na gusto nating gawin at ipagkatiwala ito sa Panginoon. So once again, Sir Lee, thank you. Thank you for your
Ikaw rin po.
inspiring story and may God bless you more and more. Ganun din po ang inyong negosyo. Mga kaagapay, atin pong nakasama si Mr. Lee Thomas, isa pong entrepreneur at bahagi rin po ng Business as Mission Philippines.